gathering on a last minute notice. Actually, there was slight miscommunication. So, nonetheless, by the mercy of Lord Narsimhadev, the miscommunication is gone, and we all have gathered here to hear from Mataji. I'll just give you a brief intro of who Mataji is. Her Grace Radhika Kripa Mataji was born in Sikh affluent business family. She studied in a convent school and was a fashion designer by profession. She married into a Hindu Punjabi business family, was doing business when she joined ISKCON. After initiation in 2001, her spiritual master, as known as Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, ordered her to be an international preacher and be an author also. Can you push the page? She has written 6 books and various articles for Dunwards and Back to Godhead magazine. Her books are 1 book with devotional poems. It's called as Pearls of Devotion. 2 Vaishnava teachings in Sikhism, which is also in 5 other languages, including Sindhi and Urdu in Pakistan. 3 Vaishnavism and Sikhism. 4 Guru, the spiritual father. 5 Memoirs with my spiritual father. And 6 Death the Unstoppable. She travels all over the world to give discourses in Japan, Canada, Australia, the US, Hong Kong, Thailand, UK, Kenya, Pakistan, to name a few. During COVID, online preaching became intensive. During COVID, online preaching became intensive and she joined in the distribution of scriptures and other devotional activities, including chanting sessions and various courses on the study of the scriptures. Her chanting sessions have crossed 1400 days. That means you've been doing daily continuously for 1400 days. Again, I just divide by 365 to understand how many years. With attendance of nearly 100 people every day. Book distribution during the Bhadra Purnima Marathon and Bhagavad Gita Marathon has been rewarding with the mercy of Sri Guru Maharaj. In 2020, these are some of the scores. 2020, Mataji distributed 425 Srimad Bhagavatam sets
Haribo!
and 14,000 Bhagavad Gitas.
Haribo!
In 2021, 525 Srimad Bhagavatam sets and 18,000 Bhagavad Gita.
Haribo!
In 2022, 625 Srimad Bhagavatam sets and 19,000 Bhagavad Gita.
Haribo!
In 2023, 565 Srimad Bhagavatam sets and 20.5 thousand Bhagavad Gitas.
Haribo!
And 2024, 800 Srimad Bhagavatam sets and 24,000 Bhagavad Gitas.
Haribo!
In 2025, I think 1,000 Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, our target is bless us. 1008 Bhagavatam sets. That's our target.
We're very fortunate to hear from Mataji today, and Mataji's husband, His Grace Rasapriya Prabhu. Mataji has, I shared one video with you. Can you
Yeah, that's the video.
It's a recent temple opening in temple which opened in Delhi. It's called the Rohini.
Yeah, the Rohini temple in
Rohini
Delhi.
Temple. So Prabhuji is the one who did all the interior designing and everything. You'll get to know more when you.
This is actually just a video where Radhanath Maharaj came and he glorified how it is. But the pictures of the temple, if you want to see, they can be shared. You have? I'll just share a few pictures I have. Otherwise, you can just Google it and go to the YouTube and see the Rohini temple inauguration. You'll see the pictures of Rohini temple.
So His Grace Rasapriya Prabhu has done beautiful ISKCON temple projects in Delhi. So I'm assuming that's the Rohini one.
Yeah, the Rohini, Bahadurgarh, Badshahpur, Gurgaon. He's done 6 temples.
In Delhi, Gurgaon, Faridabad, and Rohini and other places. He serves the lordships and encourages Mataji also to do so. So we are very fortunate to have them in our presence. Let's heartily welcome them by 3 times loudly chanting
Haribo! Haribo! Haribo!
Now you can show the video where recently when Radhanath Maharaj visited the temple and how he was so impressed by the temple.
Please share the screen for all these ones.
Radhanath Maharaj, I may say, first he talks about the Chipiora temple where Prabhupada, when he left this planet, he had there was not a single temple in Delhi. And there was only the Chipiwara temple where Prabhupada used to stay, and when he used to get the Back to Godhead printed. So he used to stay in Chandni Chowk in the Chipiwara temple. That was a very tiny room where he stayed. So he's talking about, Radha Maharaj says that when he left this planet, there was no temple. A rented place was there where the deities were installed. And there was this Chipiwara temple only, where the base was. It originated from there. And then he says when his disciple Gopal Krishna Maharaj departs from this world, he leaves behind a very glorious temple. It's a beautiful temple, like it's nearly 1,75,000 square feet temple. And it is beautifully made. So he talks about this Rohini temple, he says, and he's sitting in the Rohini temple only right now, in the Govindas of Rohini. So we were all sitting with him on the dining table. We were sharing, he had prasad there, we had prasad with him, very fortunate. And then he was talking about it. And then he said, he left behind a masterpiece of art. That is what Guru Maharaj has left behind. So let's watch the video. Something is wrong.
You have a speaker? The total speaker with the aux box.
So, in the meantime, you can start the kirtan a little bit. Everybody can join in. Or we speaker आने में time है.
Yes. In the meantime, speaker.
We have that temple also now, that where Prabhupada used to go for VTG publication. That is also with this call.
The Chipiwara one.
Chipiwara.
That also we have.
Is it ISKCON Chipiwara?
Yeah, ISKCON Chipiwara now. We have in Delhi now 21 temples. Prabhupada when left, there was no temple. And now we have 21 temples in Delhi, all big ones. 18 ones are the big ones. And with they're all filled up with congregation. It's not that they're empty. They're all filled up. And on Saturdays and Sundays, we have, like in Rohini temple, we have a gathering of 40,000 people visiting every Saturday, 40,000 7 Sundays. And when it opened, it was like 25,000 people coming every day. 25,000 people coming every day. Now the number has been decreased, but it is still in thousands it goes. So this is the one temple I'm talking about. There are many more like this. Now Punjabi Bagh temple, where it's again growing big. First, it was in 1980s. It was in a small garage of a house, and now it is grown big to a big house, and now again they are growing more big. We have bought another land. Yeah, let's have it.
Shuffle first. Shuffle first.
Yeah. It's better I play it with my phone. Yeah. New York is supposed to be a high-tech city. It should be better than Delhi. But I'm live. I don't know what they're thinking if they're watching.
Do you want to make chatting session live too? Can you?
say. Both the things won't be. Just tell her after this. But YouTube, to how will it happen? I don't know. But how can it be? It cannot. Hmm. No.
You can start the class, and by the end of the class, it'll be ready.
Okay. Yeah. Umagyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshunamalatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurvai Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapat Kamlam Shri Gurena Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagratam Sahagandraganatvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakhanatavascha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Bhaksha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patita Nam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnavbhyo Namo Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all for the session. Today is a very auspicious day. We all know we are celebrating Narsingh Chaturthi, and we all are aware of the Narsingh Leela, the pastime, Prahlada and Narsimhadev pastime. So this pastime brings with it a lot of knowledge for us. So how Prahlad is fearless. So how when we are a devotee of the Lord, we become fearless. We overcome all the fears in this world. And of course, this pastime, as you just heard, I'm an author of the Vaishnava teachings in Sikhism. So my Guru Maharaj asked me to write the book. Always he was asking me to pen it down. And there is a very interesting pastime for this also. When I was not penning down this book, because I never found myself to be qualified to be an author of a book. Book is a big responsibility. But Guru Maharaj, and that is why I'm coming with this pastime is because Prahlad has been actually, who gave all this to Prahlad, the knowledge of the scriptures? How did Prahlad get all the knowledge? How did he get the knowledge? Who would like to say? From where did he get all the knowledge? Yeah, from Narad Muni. So he had a guru before he was not born. Actually, we take birth in mother's womb itself. It's not that you have to come out, you are born. It's you are already born there. And he got the knowledge all from his guru, the spiritual master Naradji. So the guru makes you fearless. It's not just that you are chanting on your own and you become fearless. Guru empowers you. He makes you fearless. You become fearless when you follow the instructions of your spiritual master. So as he was asking, my Guru Maharaj was asking me to write the book and I was not writing. I didn't find myself qualified to write a book. But then one day, again, an interesting incident was we were in Vrindavan with our Guru Maharaj, sitting in the office of Vrindavan temple. And Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, then he was Devamrit Prabhu. He was sitting there as the temple president. He was there. And Guru Maharaj introduces me to him and he says, you know Radhika Kripa? And Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, he said, yes. And then he looked at me and I said, yes, I know. And then Guru Maharaj said, do you know she has written a book on Sikhism and Vaishnavism? And I had not written a single word. And Guru Maharaj, he tells him that she has written a book. And Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, Devamrit Prabhu, he looks at me and he says he appreciates it. And I had to acknowledge, yes, I've written. I said, thank you. And then I took it as my responsibility that I have to write the book now. I have to write it. Because when the spiritual master is saying she's written, that means it's been written. And then I sat down. There was no Google at that time when I'm talking about. It's 18 years back. I sat down every day in the morning. There was 1.5 months to Guru Maharaj Vyasa Puja. That was in August. And this was June, mid of June. So I promised to myself that I have to complete the book and gift it to him on this Vyasa Puja itself. And I sat down every day for 10 to 12 hours and I would pen it down, keep all the scriptures around me, and I would pen down from the Granth Sahib, from the Gita, from Bhagavatam, from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then finally, the book got printed just in the nick of time. It was his Vyasa Puja. And a day ago, only in the evening, the books get printed and they come to me. And I offered it to Guru Maharaj the very next day on his Vyasa Puja. And he was extremely happy. And then he tells Jayapataka Maharaj about the book. And then within 1 month, Jayapataka Maharaj is asking me, where's the book? And I deliver it to the airport and he takes it all over the world himself. So this is how actually the spiritual master makes you fearless. He knows what is going to happen. And Narad Muni knew that Prahlad is actually in a demon family, he's taking birth. But how he became fearless, he did not fear his own father. He was not afraid of whatever his father was doing with him. And he had the quality of forgiveness as well with him. It was not that he knew his father was going to torture him, but yet he was very fully forgiving. And he wanted to forgive his father for all what he was doing to him. So this is how, when we are under the spiritual master, the guidance of the spiritual master, we get all these qualities in us. We cannot get these qualities on our own. We can never strive for them and say, oh, I can have them on my own. Never will we have. We will be always fearful of the city outside, the world outside. It's very fearing. The Maya is there. So it's not really Hiranyakashipu is the Maya. It's there outside. So it will be ready to pounce upon us. I travel all over the world. I know it's so. I was, when I joined, I was only 35 years of age, and then I got initiated. And then Guru Maharaj says you should travel. And then I said yes. He asked my husband. He asked me. I was going to Australia for my maiden trip for preaching because I wanted to fulfill all the instructions. Whatever instructions he gave, I wanted to do them. I made it like life and soul, all his words. I don't know. That was in me that if I have a guru, if I want to be a disciple. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, then when Krishna and Arjuna, the conversation starts from the very first chapter, Krishna is hardly speaking. He listens to Arjuna. And then when Arjuna is all like full of, he's depressed, fully anguished, then Arjun says, I become your disciple. He doesn't say, I make you my guru. He says, I become your disciple. There's a difference. When we say, you become my guru, that is, you are very arrogant. That you are actually choosing someone. It's the guru is going to choose you. It's not you are going to choose him. And when you say, I become your disciple, that is when how you are going to take the shelter. The surrender is going to come then. Surrender cannot come otherwise. Surrender is connected to your becoming the disciple. You going into the discipline. You are going to accept something. You have to be submissive. You have to be humble. You have to take all the orders. So when we say, oh, I become the disciple, then that is the humility will come into you. And that is how the Guru blesses you. So that is why the Prahlad was blessed by Naradji. And see what happened then. He became so fearless that he is eternally, he's famous everywhere. He is, even the Gravani, the Granth Sahib says that, Ram Japoji aise aise, Dhruv Prahlad Japeo Har jaise. Chant the name of Ram like that, like Dhruv and Prahlad chanted the Hari's name. So he's glorified on all the 3 planets. He's glorified everywhere. Why? Because he actually got the instructions of his spiritual master and he followed them. And these qualities of forgiveness and he's asking liberation for his own father. The demon who was trying to kill him throughout the life, he's asking Narsimhadev ji to bless his father, liberate him. And this is how it happens. The end part of the pastime, when you go to that, it's again very interesting. When no demigod can actually approach Narsimhadev, he's full of anger. Why he's full of anger? Because he has come for his devotee. It's for his devotee he has come. Narsimhadev ji has appeared. He's protecting his devotee. So when we become a devotee, Krishna always protects us. Because Guru, we are very dear to the spiritual master. And Krishna only listens to your spiritual master, not you. Because you are sincere towards your spiritual master, that is why Krishna is protecting you. So we have to be very actually determined. Dhruva means determination. So we have to be very determined in our being in discipline, being in submission, surrender. We have to be very determined to surrender. So this determination comes when we take the association of devotees. And Prahlad created this association. He gave his association to all the students of his Gurukul. He was sent to that Gurukul, and there he is giving association to all of them. He created the association, and they are all chanting the Krishna's glories. All his Gurukulis, they are chanting that. He tells them to chant the name of Gopal. He makes them chant, and thus he creates that aura, that association comes up. So a powerful devotee, when he follows the instructions of the spiritual master, the power actually is transferred to him. He gets empowered. That is the word empowered is used. You just heard the scores for SBM, the Bhagavatam scores. Actually, I used to tell my Guru Maharaj, they are nothing. I haven't done anything. He called me up one day and he said, Radhika Kripa, I want you to do the book distribution. I want you to do the Bhadra Purnima marathon. And your target is 1,000 Bhagavatam sets. And till date, everybody reads these scores. They ask me for my introduction. I send them the scores. But I have yet not fulfilled my Guru Maharaj wish, His desire was that I may do 1,000 Bhagavatam sets in one Bhadra Purnima. We haven't done that as yet. Because whenever they were glorifying my scores in the lectures, Guru Maharaj, sometimes he was present there. And then the first time when everybody said, oh, she's done 425 Bhagavatam sets, she's done this. And then Guru Maharaj very quietly and he says in the mic, she hasn't yet, her target is very big. She hasn't fulfilled her target yet. So he brings you down to the earth, So that is how Guru is. He takes away all your pride. So he wants you to be humble. He doesn't want you to be puffed up. Oh, you have done so much. We haven't done anything, I know. It's just I conveyed what my Guru Maharaj said, the same words I conveyed further, and the miracles happened. So miracles, if you really want to see, one has to surrender to the spiritual master. Surrender to the instructions of the spiritual master. So that is why Prahlad is glorified till today. Because Prahlad did that. He earned the protection of Narsimhadev. Narsimhadev had to appear. He had to take a special incarnation for his devotee. And that is how it is. The devotees are always under the protection. So we have nothing to lose when we become devotees. So thus we see today's pastime, that's the Narsimhadev appearance. He is appearing for his devotee. And Prahlad had full faith. His faith was unwavering. It's unflinching faith. He was fearless because of his unflinching faith. It says in the Gurbani, Darshan parsiye Guru ke janam maran dukh jaye. When you take the darshan of your spiritual master, then you are out of the cycle of birth and death. So darshan means, the theoretical part is, of course, when you take darshan. The real darshan is with the ears, when you take the instructions of the spiritual master, when you make them your life and soul. I went my first maiden trip of mine was to Australia. Because Guru Maharaj said that you have to travel and go and spread the message all over the world. But now how do you go? It's not that somebody comes and gives you the air ticket and fixes up all your the lectures everywhere in the world and then you go. It doesn't happen like that. Then I sat with my god sister. I asked her if you could invite me and I could come and give lectures. And then she said, fine, I'll do some house programs there. And then I organized it and I asked Guru Maharaj that, as you said, so should I go? And he said, yes, of course, you must go. You have all my blessings. And then when I was leaving and in my Prabhuji, we were taking his darshan. And then Guru Maharaj suddenly says, he was talking to devotees in Pakistan on the phone. And then he suddenly turns over and he says to my husband, do you mind if I send her to Pakistan? And I was going to Australia at that time. And my Prabhuji said, anywhere you want to send her, you can send her. And then Guru Maharaj said, okay, on the phone he tells them, she will come to Pakistan. And it was in the month of June they're inviting me, and May I'm going to mid of May I was going to Australia, returning on the end of May, and June first week they wanted me to come to Pakistan because there were some deities which we had helped them to take over. To I knew the devotees because they had come 1 month prior to India, and Guru Maharaj had gifted them some deities, Radha Krishna deities, and both of us had helped to procure these deities from Jaipur, and then they were sent to Pakistan. They were sent to Quetta, Balochistan. So these devotees had taken them to Balochistan. So now they wanted Guru Maharaj to come and do the installation of the deities. And then Guru Maharaj tells them Radhika Kripa will come. And I didn't believe it. I thought it's just a joke. And I went to Australia. And when I came back from Australia, and then my Prabhuji said, they are all very eagerly waiting for you. They are calling up every now and then and inquiring, when are you coming to Pakistan? I said, you just don't walk in and get a visa for Pakistan. You have to have a big exercise for that. And then somehow, I won't go in the details as we are live right now. So when we are not live, I can tell you how I got it. So, but I got the visa. Within a day, I got the visa. And the same evening, I flew to Pakistan. I flew to Lahore. And I reached Quetta, Balochistan. And I did the installation of the deities. First time I was performing a yagya with them. And I was sitting down and we were making, I have the pictures where I was performing yagya. And then Giriraj Maharaj was online. There was no WhatsApp at that time. So he was online from uh, America. He was talking on the phone. And I was doing the translation of the lecture. He was speaking in English. I was making the translation. And then he said he had to initiate, Brahmin initiation was to be given to 2 brahmacharis there. And he asked me, Radhika Kripa, please hand over the Janeus to them. So I handed over the Janeus to them. And then I gave the lecture there. I helped in the installation of the deities. And then I came back to Delhi. So if your Guru Maharaj, that's what I'm saying, if your spiritual master says something, it is bound to happen. We think, oh, it's just a joke. How can this be happening? And when I went to Pakistan, I could say yes. Then, of course, when you follow the instructions of your spiritual master, everything will fall in place. Whatever he says, it will happen. It's bound to happen because Krishna has to listen to him because he is very dear to Krishna. Prabhupada says in his script, in his writings, in the purports, it's very, very much he has mentioned this in many places, that spiritual master, the guru, is so a confident servant of Krishna. He's the very confiding, servant of Krishna. So, of course, the confidence comes from the confine because he is very dear to Krishna. He is very serving Krishna. We every day sing Sansar Damanal. So we all know. We actually, the Guru Vashtakam is so powerful. If you meditate on the Guru Vashtakam only, you will understand that how a disciple is so dear to Krishna, how a pure devotee is so dear to Krishna. Guru is the pure devotee of the Lord. So that's how Prahlad was actually getting all the power. So when Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, from where you're getting all this power? That you are defying whatever I'm doing, trying to kill you, whatever we have done, everything has gone in vain. He was not able to kill his own son. He was trying hard to kill his own son, but he could not. And he asked Prahlad, from where you're getting all this power? And Prahlad says, from the same place I'm getting the power from where you're getting the power to kill me. You're trying hard to kill me with that, and he's trying hard to protect me from that. So the power is coming from the same source. The source is only one, and that's the Supreme Lord. So, and Supreme Lord is actually protecting his devotee, we know. And then when he asked Prahlad, where is this Supreme Lord? And he says, he's everywhere. And then Hiranyakashipu says, it's very easy then. If he's everywhere, it's very easy to kill him now. And he says, is he in this pillar? He said, of course he is. He's everywhere. And there he hits the pillar and Narsimhadev comes out. So Narsimhadev, it's not his home. Pillar is not his home. But he keeps the word of his devotee and he is there everywhere. That's why Prabhupada says, everywhere is Krishna. So how can someone say that Krishna is like, he's not there, he's Nirakar, he's impersonal? It's not there because he's everywhere. He can come out from anywhere. If the pure devotee wants him, he will come out. He will appear before you. So when I was there in Pakistan, there was a question came out from the crowd. They asked me why Krishna says I'm in everywhere, I'm everywhere, and still I'm not. I'm in you also. I'm there, but still I'm not there. So how this contradiction is this? I said this chair, table, this Krishna is everywhere in this. He's there, of course, but this is not Krishna. This is not the chair. Is not Krishna. You cannot worship this chair. Of course, he's in the chair, he's in the floor, he's everywhere, but you can't worship him here. But if you really want to have a relationship with you, though he appears as a Vigraha, he appears before you as the Vigraha deity. So this is how we understand. He is everywhere, yet he is there in his own abode. He is there in the Vigraha form. He is there to take our services. So we are very fortunate. According to the instructions of our spiritual master, we are able to serve the deities and get the blessings. So the medium is only one, that is the Guru. There is no other medium. And that's what Prahlad, Dhruv, they all are projecting this. There is only one medium, one has to go through the Guru. There is no way out. So four kinds of Guru we have, we all know. That's the Margapadaksha Guru, those who show you the way to. Then the second is the Shiksha Guru, the instructing master. The third is the initiating master, Diksha Guru. The fourth is the Chaitya Guru, Krishna himself. So this is how the process is. Somebody brings you to the temple. He's your Mark Pradakshak who shows you the path. The second is he introduces you to some Prabhuji who is already a devotee of the Lord. He mentors you. So he is your instructing master. And then the third, then you are getting prepared to take the initiation. So initiation means you are initiating into the spiritual world now. So unless you get the initiation, you are not yet into the spiritual world. You may be chanting, you may be doing everything, but unless you have diksha, initiation, you are not into it. So diksha is very important. The Gurbani even it's written there. Bin dikhya jnana kaisa. Bin guru dikhya jnana kaisa. Without getting initiated by the spiritual master, knowledge does not sustain. So you see, if a fool like me can write a book, so that is only the instruction of the spiritual master, because he said the book is written and it's done. So only the spiritual master knows everything, what's going to happen. So he gives you the, and maybe sometimes you don't get direct instructions, but one should not feel, oh, I didn't get a direct instruction, so I don't have any instructions to follow. No, the instruction is the one and complete for everybody. To take initiation, chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles. I have faith in the spiritual master. Faith is very strong. The faith actually makes the wonders. Prahlad had the faith that Krishna will protect me, and Krishna did protect him. So when we have faith, Krishna reveals himself, but only when we have faith in the words of the spiritual master, because he had heard everything from Naradji. So he had faith in the words of Naradji, what he had heard. So we are very fortunate. These pastimes, today we are celebrating Narsingh Chaturthi, and I know there's a drama going on up there, and you all would be wanting to watch it. But then this pastime is enacted because it's a reminder for all of us that we remind ourselves about the pastimes, remind ourselves what these pastimes actually give us. So how we become faithful to our spiritual master. Upstairs, I was talking to Hansarupa Prabhu. I was telling him, he said, yes, we had only faith in Srila Prabhupada. What Prabhupada said, we did it. So I said, yeah, likewise, you all had, Prabhupada disciples had faith in Prabhupada. You did what he gave instructions. Likewise, we have all faith in our spiritual master. What instructions he gave us, we follow that. So we are able to serve Prabhupada also very nicely. We are able to serve ISKCON nicely. So that is how it is. The faith actually makes the wonders. It helps you. The spiritual life means having faith in the words of the bona fide spiritual master, coming from disciplic succession. So anybody has any question? You can ask me. Any question anybody has? Yes, Prabhu.
So, Mataji, after hearing your scores about book distribution, it just like blew everyone's our mind. And like, how do you get the inspiration every time? Because if we feel okay, we have distributed some books, I guess this is more than
Enough.
enough now. Let's we will
Let's
see
rest.
next year, maybe like that.
Yes.
So how do you get your inspiration? Also, maybe you can share some tips or some some
Yeah.
some your realizations of you have distributed so many books, so you can share your pastimes or something like that.
Yes, because very nice for you for asking these things. Very few, I think so, have this in mind that we want to know something, how we can improve our book distribution. Likewise, I said I have full faith in my spiritual master's instructions. So I used to tell Guru Maharaj, I'll try my level best, and rest is I know you are my partner, Maharaj. Everything will happen because you are saying. And of course, he empowers you. And plus, I got the inspiration because he was serving his spiritual master. I would look up to him. That they, with a failing health, also, he was so determined to serve Srila Prabhupada till his last breath. He was made the chairman for ISKCON Bureau until the last. He died in that. He passed away. The spiritual master never dies. He just left this mortal world. But then he was still serving, and he always wanted to. I had practically, me and my husband, we had practically traveled with Guru Maharaj a lot, and I had seen him. He never took rest even for 5 minutes in the when he used to get up for the Mangala Aarti. After that, never even for 5 minutes he would lie down. He would say, "This is Maya." Never, never ever. He had fever. He would go for Mangala Aarti. When I became a devotee, the first instruction he gave me was very hard. He said, Mangal Aarti has no option. Never look for any option for Mangal Aarti. You cannot say, oh, today I didn't attend Mangal Aarti, so I may chant 16, say 20 rounds I will chant. No. He said, there is no option. Put this in your word in your dictionary. There is no option for Mangal Aarti. And then I took those words and I would attend. I have been attending Mangal Aarti since then. I try never to avoid a Mangal Aarti. Whether I go physically, I used to go to the temple all the years, and online came up. So sometimes, so their substitution came for the online one. But then I never. My chanting sessions, he knew, they begin at 5 in the morning. And right now in Delhi, it has started. So I have to make it live on my YouTube as well, so which I'll be doing right now. So then Guru Maharaj asked me, what happens if you don't attend your chanting session? They begin at 5 every day. I said, Guru Maharaj, with your mercy, that's not happened any day. Even if I'm in transit, sometimes I'm in, last year, I believe I was going to Vancouver. So my layover was in Tokyo. And right on dot time at 5, it was in Tokyo, it was 8:30 or so, and it was 5 in Delhi. I just made it live from the airport itself. So whenever I try, like wherever I am, I try. If I'm really in the aeroplane, then it becomes difficult for me. But then when I'm outside, I do try to make it live. But the Zoom sessions, it goes on. I have trained. Guru Maharaj wanted me to train others. So we had a group that happened in the COVID times. So I was very personal with all of them. First thing is online, if you want to preach to someone, you have to be very personal. You cannot be impersonal. You have to be very personal. You have to really share with them, take their thoughts, talk to them, give time to them. And I will tell you, there are few from wherever in the world I go, I have people, those who have been connected to me through my Zoom sessions. So in US also, we had the first ones from here, these two Matajis. They joined me in 2020, COVID times. She joined me from Detroit. I didn't know her. She started coming to my sessions. I was giving lectures. She attended those, and there were many who didn't know ISKCON at that time. I had people from Mauritius, from other places in India as well, and they were coming every day to my. I went live lectures I was giving. They would come live there with me, join me there, and then I used to read their names while in the lecture. Before starting the lecture, I would read their names. So they all would wait every day to hear the name. Their name would be there. So they would join in. They would love to hear their name. And then I would ask after the lecture, any questions you have, so please write them, I'll answer. We were not seeing each other face to face. I was just speaking in the screen like this. And it was very embarrassing for me in the beginning. I was used to it being live, but I was live from my lectures wherever I was giving. So they were physical audience, and then I would be live. But now just speaking, gazing into the camera and speaking in a closed room, nobody to look at. So it was very difficult. But then I didn't know, I hadn't seen them, I didn't know them. But then they would write questions there and I would reply to them. And then they gradually wanted to know how I became a devotee, then what is the process in ISKCON, and how you chant. So I was telling them everything. You have to give time. That's why I'm telling you. They all asked me to come to stay with them because everybody had time in the world, at that time, COVID times. So they said, be with us for 2 hours in the morning and then please come evening also with us. So I was taking care of my household activities. I had my son, a daughter-in-law, grandchild, husband to look after. But then I was 2 hours live in the morning. Then I was live at in the afternoons. I would teach them the Prabhupada Lilamrit. We would read from Prabhupada Lilamrit. So I named the session as 15 minutes with Prabhupada. So they all came to that also. And then in the evenings, again, I would come live with the Bhagavad Gita. So they would be there. So likewise, I was giving 3 programs a day during COVID. And then gradually the temples opened up and then they started chanting. Most of them, they started chanting. Then I asked them, would you join me on my WhatsApp? They were very readily agreed there. And they sent me their names and numbers, and then we joined them in a group. And then we had direct conversations with them. So it's very important. The first thing is to have direct conversations, direct approach, and patience. Patience is, and it was not just the sessions I was talking to them directly. After the sessions were ending, I would get phone calls. And then I had to attend them on the phone, talking to a single person even for 1 hour. उसमें से कई लोग चले गए, अभी नहीं है. And during that time they were there, but now they are not there. They have left. But then you have to give time. Preacher means you have to give your energy. They may remain with you or not. It's their karma. But you or your karma you have to do. So I did all that with Guru Maharaj's blessings. And then gradually they all came over, and the Zoom sessions for chanting sessions. Until date we have sessions like 2 to 3 sessions every day. So this is how it is. First, your patience and your determination. Utsaha Nischay Dharya, one everyone should have. So your enthusiasm, your determination, and then the patience. That will work in bhakti. So has it worked out? The audio? So I hope it's good enough tips for you. Rest, we have these Matajis, you can ask them even. They do, and now all over the world we do book distribution as well. The books I have written, I travel with them as well. And we do Bhadra Purnima, Bhagavad Gita Marathon, and the distribution of these books. Mataji, you can show the books. Hope it works now. No. This is the book that was written in 2007, The Vaishnava Teachings in Sikhism. And then I wrote another one, that's Vaishnavism and Sikhism. The third one came up with his Guru, the spiritual father. And these are memoirs with my spiritual father. This has got more than 200 pictures of us with Guru Maharaj. Candid pictures, all over from year 1999 till 2024. And then many pastimes with him. I have penned them down here. So I was very fortunate. In 2023, these two books came out together. I had written two books that year, 2023, and that was the last Vyasa Puja in physically. Guru Maharaj actually celebrated with us. So I had offered these two books to him in his Vyasa Puja, and he was very happy to see them. There's a foreword of his in this book. Nahi chalta to we can do that way. It's okay. It's fine.
All the computer science engineers.
I don't need to know their grades. Is there anyone very qualified here as a computer engineer? Please show your qualification here. Krishna doesn't want it. So if anyone wants these, any of the